As always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the market recap. November 2nd, FOMC day. Very challenging day for just about every trader out there. S&P's, NASDAQ, Dow ended the day down. The S&P down 2.5%, the Dow down 1.5%, and the NASDAQ down 3.3%. Yes, the FOMC has raised rates another 75 basis points. It's currently at 4%. The market initially reacted positively until Powell started speaking. And I thought he was very confusing in a lot of what he said. Now, I haven't had the chance to read through all of it, but just what I saw coming through on Twitter, there was a lot of conflicting information. I think he confused a lot of people, and I think that showed in the markets today. He said the labor market is out of balance. Okay, we know that. There's a lot of open jobs out there. And inflation is well above goal. Okay, we know that. The CPI imposes significant hardship. Okay, we understand that. Consumer price index, that's inflation. And he says they still have some ways to go. I think what really hit the markets when he said the ultimate level of rates will be higher than previously anticipated. Did I get lost here somehow? And but we also don't need inflation to come down to slow the pace of increases. So there's a little bit of the conflicting information that Chairman Powell was talking about. It looks like I lost the feed for just a minute there, and I apologize if that is the case. Crude prices close at $90, up $1.63, up 1.84%, after the EIA announces a 3.1 million barrel draw in crude stocks in the U.S. It's funny how the crude oil has a tendency to do the opposite of what the fundamental information might be telling us. So we're going to go through the charts. Somebody left a couple of really nasty red lines on my equities charts. I'm not real happy about that, but we're going to have to deal with it. We've left some late spikes to the downside, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget about those tomorrow. Cut out mid-sentence talking about rate hikes. Sorry about that, Spencer. So I was talking about what Powell was talking about. I didn't have much of a chance to read through it a lot, but from what I did read, there was a lot of conflicting information. I think when the market really turned was when Powell said ultimate level of rates will be higher than previously anticipated. The market did not like that. And then he came back and said, but we don't need inflation to come down to slow the pace of the increases. So it was a rough day for those of you that participated. Hopefully you were successful in being profitable. I did not party today in this. There's no way that I'm going to get involved. I've traded through enough days like today to know that I don't really have a strategy for this. I don't think anybody really has a strategy for this. It's just, you take your shots and you take your chances, and if you get lucky, you make some money. It's not a bad thing. I just choose not to participate in volatile changes in the markets like this unless I'm already in it and things are already going my way. So, all right, well, we're going to check the charts here. Again, somebody left a nasty red line on my charts. I'm not real happy about it. But as always, make sure you hit the lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, And love are always welcome on the recap. As a reminder, I will not be here tomorrow, Friday, or Monday. Dan Hodgman is going to take over the market forecast for you. I know some of you that know Dan haven't seen him for quite some time. It'll be good to see Dan, and I know he's got some good ideas for you. Tomorrow is Thursday. There will be no Make Hogue Money tomorrow morning because I'm not going to be here. There will be no Make Hogue Money on Monday. However, Nick Dolby is going to do the group coaching for everybody on Monday. It's always good to get a different perspective. And no Make Hogue Money on Monday either. So it'll go back to normal for me and maybe for you on Tuesday. And I will be missing and thinking about all of you and the opportunities that you're hopefully finding in these always process that we are looking forward to. This afternoon, you win the prize. Rooter, I'm sorry you got wrecked today. Next time there's a situation like that today, when there's volatility and there's whole lot of digestion, conflicting information in the marketplace, think about taking your hand off the mouse, or take the battery mouse, or stick it in a drawer, or feed it to your dog. It's not worth the risk. Spencer, in the best trade location of the day, would have been short the ES or NASDAQ about 30 seconds before Powell opened his mouth. Yeah, you're just about right on that, Spencer, right? Bill, George, good to see you. Killed the market today. Lacey's down here, sound asleep. It didn't bother her all that much, but she does say, hi, George. Bill Phillips, phony. Good to see you. Joe, hey, how are you? With some words of wisdom, word of the day might be premature, as in apply hawkish commentary liberally to a premature or premature easing of financial conditions. Advice for Jay, never assume reporters are using real-time market data when writing quotes, right? It was very, very confusing. I think he created a lot of cognitive dissonance. That's the word I was looking for. Mystery Channel. Hello, room. What a day, right? Yikes. Glitter Sandwich, wild day. Vince, my guy. Good smash room. That is the word for today. Other than Kevin's premature smash to ruin. Good name for today. Hey, my brother Tom. Good to see you, Tom. Danny Island question: can you trade from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and make a living? I heard you once say trade when everybody is watching. My house is tied to my employment, and work starts at 11:30 Mountain Time. You can profit. You can do this in a limited amount of time. Of course, time is going to probably be somewhat of an issue if you're not able to participate in things late in the day. What I do kind of warn about is, if you've got 3.5 hours a day to trade, don't feel as though you have to trade. I think for people that have limited amount of time to trade, they kind of get lost in this idea that, well, if I only got 3.5 hours, I better find something, and I better find something damn well quick. Don't fall into that. Let the market give you the opportunities. Don't go looking for the opportunities. I find that when I go looking for trades, I find them, and they're usually not so good. It's the trades that come find me. If you don't see anything in that 3.5 hour period of time, you're probably better off not doing anything. Start every day from zero. Let the market come to you. Trade what you see. All of those colloquialisms, I know it's all very cliche, but just don't fall into the idea, Danny, that you've got to trade and you've only got 3.5 hours to trade. You better find something. That's going to force you to do things that may not be in part of your strategy or part of your process. Don't do it. You can profit. There's people that work at Top Step that that work kind of automated strategies. And his goal is to make 1, 2, 3 trades a day. He makes $300 on average every day. And, he's making money. It's a beautiful thing. So you can do it. Just be careful not to get kind of hooked into that idea that I've only got 3 hours. I better do something. 8 Ball, good to see you. Giannis, paper trade. Karen, Giannis, it's a good idea if you're gonna try and trade in these markets like this. It's crazy. Try and trade it on Sims. See if you can find some sort of consistency. The nice thing about these days like this, they don't happen that often. But if you can find some consistency, you can do it. Yeah, Karen says, if you made money today, be very happy. Absolutely. Bill says blippity bloppin'. There's another good word. Tom says choppy. Video frame rate is poor. I don't know why. My CPU is not being overstressed. It's strange. Maybe it's because of all the. I got like 3 different platforms running on this computer. I should probably turn 1 or 2 off. Cutting in and out. Very strange. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close one of my platforms. And we'll go take a look at the charts here. Maybe that's going to help. Good. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know 3 Lions Insight. Kevin, the fish are either there or they're not. Sometimes you bring the boat back to port empty-handed. Does happen. It's happened to me. I've been fishing and been skunked, but didn't throw the rod or reel into the water. I like trading 3 micros on MNQ when there's high volatility like this. Yeah, lowers your risk. Eases stress. Good. Tom, thank you. Okay now. Thank you. Yeah, I think there's a pretty significant delay right now. I'm going to put my hand up and see how long it takes for that to come up. It's taking quite a while. I think there's a delay of about, well, we're going to see here. When I said I was... Yeah, you guys are literally like a minute behind me. Well, that's all right. I think it's much better now, so we'll see. So let's take a look at the charts. Joel Embiid, 3 Lions. Kevin, thank you very much. Spencer, if you're going to trade that action, you got to throw on micro so you can use a very wide stop. Thank you, Bill. All right, let's take a look at the charts. We're going to start with crude oil, and we'll go through the rest of them, of course. So crude oil, we had a move to the upside, even though the EIA had a 3.1 million barrel draw in stocks. The price continues to move higher. Here's the 30-minute chart. So we opened really in range and value. We talked about better trade locations happening as the day goes on when that happens. And it was the second half hour where we put in the low that put in the best trade location. The high was put in considerably later, around 11 o'clock. But the best trade location did come at least 30 minutes after the open in crude oil. It's going to be very obvious in the equities that the best trade locations happen later in the day because of the event that happened today. And here is that nasty red line somebody put on my chart. This is an ugly, ugly line. I don't like it. It's a potential market state changer. And we just got to see how unemployment goes on Friday. Really, I think is going to be one of the more important things to see if we can continue this move to the upside. But this is a bit of a game changer. We're kind of holding this line. We didn't have like more than 2 points of contact before the FOMC came out. We had a point of contact today, but we have now closed below that line. So we've got a potential market state changer here. I think the real change is going to be if we hold below weekly kickoff low. So I think we've got some space below before I'm really going to start to worry. All right, so new information comes into the marketplace. Here's the 30-minute chart. We opened, we range bound. Best trade location came right as Powell was about to start speaking, and we have moved the market lower. Now, we do have a late spike. That is, the market was moving lower quickly without the chance for the market to accept lower pricing. It's going to be a tricky day tomorrow, because where exactly is the base of the late spike? Is the late spike here? Is the late spike here? Or is the late spike here? All of this was directional and didn't have time to find acceptance. So I am going to look at this and I'm going to say, I think if we open below the late spike, obviously that's acceptance of higher pricing. This is M period. This is typically where you're going to see the base of the late spike right here, right around 37.81. But we continued to push lower from this point. So I think there's two basic late spike bases here. We got 37.81. We've got this one here at 38.08. Those are going to be important levels for us to look at. This 37.08 was not a very strong low because we had a low here. So watching if we open in this late spike or below, the market may be telling us it is accepting of lower pricing. We open above all this, what are the odds of that? That's going to show some rejection of lower pricing. So, we still have the most important feature recently is the excess on this low here from the 13th. But we are at risk of changing market states. Take a look at the NASDAQ. Hello. Alrighty then, so much closer to weekly kickoff low. This market has been presenting as the weaker of the two. This again is a kind of an ugly chart line here. Here's the 30. So again, we have another late spike. Where is the base of it? Is the base of the late spike here? 10,991, or is the base of the late spike here 11,117? I'm looking at 117 really as the base of the late spike. I think that's where the market really kind of started to melt down a little bit. And if we open in the side or below that, we'll look for certainly a test of weekly kickoff low, and there's plenty of visuals down below. We still have, of course, our major excess from the 13th here on the TPO charts. So there it is. There's our excess. We've got some space. We certainly have some naked points of control. We've got some things to maybe go down and clean up. A lot of this is going to depend, again, on what happens with unemployment on Friday. Don't forget we have a midterm election on Tuesday. Anything can happen. ACH, that's one of our acronyms here on the market forecast and the market recap, is anything can happen and usually will. Gold still remains range-bound. Took a look above our high of the balance area here, but rejected. Here's the 30-minute chart. Basically followed the S&Ps. Bam. 2 points of control, rechecked. Another point of control, rechecked. I think we're still largely in balance in gold. Yes, time and volume equals acceptance. Here's the euro. Finally, we're going to get a test near an important inflection level. Last week's low, weekly kickoff low, looks like might be an interesting day for us tomorrow. But it's the same day we did in the S&Ps. I mean, we were more inside value today than we were in the S&Ps, but the market looked higher, was rejected, and closed on its low. Another late spike? Not necessarily, because this market closes. Settlement's going to be up here. This happens afterwards, and look at the volume. So yes, this is a late spike, I would say, especially when we look at the volume on the late spike and the 30 minutes before that. That's where all the volume was today. Not much going on here, right? So 10-year, no major changes here. Still just kind of pulling off of a weekly kickoff high. Same day. Ranging, knee-jerk to the upside, closing lower. No real late spike here in the 10-year. And still barcoding here in the natural gas. Did we have better trade locations as the day goes on? Well, we opened here, did trade down to here, high volume node, checked this previous gap, right back to weekly kickoff high, last week's high, checked this naked point of control, we'll take that off. Stop that because it got checked, and start from weekly kickoff tomorrow. So these markets are always challenging, always difficult, always fun. So, in this day in history, Howard Hughes' Spruce Goose actually flew today. 1937, I think, was the day that flew. 47, there it is. Chicago Cubs won the World Series on this date in 2016, snapping a almost 100-year-old curse. John Paul Jones, not the bass player from Led Zeppelin, he set sail on November 2nd, 1777. Set sail for France. Speaking of Led Zeppelin, 2007, the eagerly awaited reunion concert in London was postponed for 2 weeks after Jimmy Page broke a finger. He broke a finger. You can't break a finger, Jimmy. Uh, 1969, Creedence Clearwater Revival released Willie and the Poor Boys, the third studio album. Features songs Down on the Corner, Fortunate Son. Cream released its second studio album, Disraeli Gears, today in 1967. Some great songs on there. It's Katie Lang's birthday today. She was born in 1961. Carter Buford, drummer for the Dave Matthews Band, was born today in 1957. I didn't know that he was that old. What a drummer he is. Keith Emerson's birthday is today. of Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. He was born in 1944. Seems like everybody in the beginning of rock and roll was born in the 40s. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. Watch yourselves the next 3 days. Enjoy seeing Dan. I know you guys haven't seen Dan for a while. I know that's going to be fun. Enjoy Nick Dolby on group coaching, and be ready for my return on Tuesday. It'll take a little bit of time and take care of some business and do a little bit of relaxing. So be kind to yourself. I see Karen likes my shirt. This is a great shirt, right? Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Keep a prayer for world peace and peace in yourself. And be good to yourself, man. We work hard at this. This is one job that you don't guarantee you get paid, but you still got to be good to yourself. Be nice. Use nice things about yourself. Positive mental attitudes. Good internal dialogues. Happy traders make better traders. And I want to see you all happy when I get back on Tuesday next week. Tuesday. Trade well, everybody. Signing off for now. I'll see you back here on Tuesday. God bless.